Simon Besteman, chairperson of the Dutch cloud community. This is another video broadcast brought to the Octopus cloud community, where we look at the MSP markets throughout Europe. Simon has been a long and close personal friend of mine. He's coached me. He's very knowledgeable with regards to the MSP market. But why don't I let you introduce yourself before I give away all the pleasant truths? Simon.
Thank you for having me, Mark. Hi, everybody. I'm Simon Besteman. I'm the managing director of the Dutch cloud community. We are the trade association for cloud providers and hosting providers in the Netherlands. And as such, we form a community of some 100 companies covering about, I'd say, 80% of the market in total, where our main focuses will be on helping the companies navigate the complex regulatory field, dealing with all the new legislation that's coming our way. But we also run education programs. We run sustainability programs. We help people find their way in the market. And maybe finally, but not necessarily least, we are really a community of companies where people also come to meet each other, to network, to grow their business and work together.
So, Simon, the Dutch market has been traditionally looked upon as one of the premier hubs in Europe as far as the internet and MSP community is concerned. What makes Holland an interesting jumping off point for everybody with international ambitions?
I remember that once the owner of a company, of a foreign company that was setting up a business in the Netherlands, I was talking to him and I asked him, like, why are you coming to the Netherlands? Because in volume, it's not a market that's as big as Germany, for instance. I said, I reckon if you can make it in Holland, you can make it anywhere, because it is a very active market. It's a very dynamic market. As you said, the infrastructure in the Netherlands is very good. The economy is very advanced. The level of automation in companies is very advanced. The usage of the internet is very advanced. Cloud adoption is ahead of the curve compared with the rest of Europe, where in many countries in Europe, cloud is still a corporate and government game. In the Netherlands, it's really become an SME game, and that makes it a very interesting market, makes it a tough market where you have to accept when you come here that there is stiff competition, that you need to have your processes in order. You're going to learn a lot when you come here, but the attitude of the Dutch towards newcomers is a very positive one. When you come here, if you have an interesting proposition, you will be invited to drop in for a cup of coffee, and you will be given a chance to submit your proposal. And if your proposal is good, you will get market.
What's your take on the maturity level on Dutch MSPs? Where do they tend to try and set themselves apart from the rest of the market? If you look at system integrators, MSPs, cloud and hosting providers, how do the traditional MSPs try to make a difference?
Well, in this fragmented market where the competition is pretty ferocious at times, what you see is that you see several trends. First of all, of course, you see like everywhere in Europe, but I don't have the figures, but I have a gut feeling that it's that in this we're a little bit ahead of the curve too. You see a consolidation happening. You see that more and more MSPs are part of a larger group, are part of a larger organization, that they work together as a way also of managing the cost, of getting more more clout with a T, not with a D in this case, in order to get access to the markets. What you see also is that more and more you see specialist players, people who are becoming very strong in finance, in healthcare, in logistics, in the banking sector, people who look to distinguish themselves from the competition by offering a genuine expertise and an infrastructure that's adapted to it, meaning also the right certifications, the right etc. On specific fields, and this is the way that you can still manage your growth, by just becoming outstanding in one field or two fields where you know that you have a competitive advantage over the rest.
What's your stand with regards to, or what's the stand of the Dutch cloud community, I should say, with regards to foreign market players having ambitions within the Dutch market? I've had my fair share of discussions with regards to the impact of companies like AWS and Microsoft Azure coming into the Dutch market and claiming a piece of the pie, so to speak. I told some of the companies that I'm involved with in their marketing process, I said, look, these guys are here to stay because they have an impact on salary structures in the Netherlands, standards for service level agreements. What's the general stand and thought within the Dutch cloud and MSP market in regards to that?
I think for foreign parties wanting to set up shop in the Netherlands, the opportunities are here, but you can't phone it in. You have to take it seriously. And that means, for instance, people have this vision of the Netherlands of like, oh, everybody in the Netherlands speaks English, so I can just have my team working from my own country and gain business. It doesn't work like that. And as an MSP, your customers are going to require the proximity. They're going to need that proximity. That means you're going to have to be able to offer service in the Netherlands. That means you're going to have to offer that proximity to your customers, to your prospects. You're going to need to have a sales team here that understands the market. You're going to need to have to adapt to this market. You're going to have to look at your proposition and see if it fits with what the competition is doing in the Netherlands. Just copy pasting the proposition that is successful in your own country and thinking, oh, that's what that will do in the Netherlands. I just put up a website and then I'll just wait for the orders to come in, is not going to cut the mustard. You're going to have to make that effort. It can be complex. A lot of the companies that have come in here the past few years, the most successful ones, I've often found local partners to work with, are working with local companies to help them. We as a trade association can also help you with getting access to a certain network of people. We can help you with tailoring a little bit your proposition. But mind you, at the end of the day, you're going to have to do this.
Does it make more sense for me if to start with invest in Holland as a research organization, or am I better off starting with organizations like the Dutch cloud community, or do I go talk to some of my tax advisors? I've seen companies come into the Dutch market that went to a big corporate American data center and they said, well, here's your co-location in Amsterdam, go have fun.
Yes, and
but
that's exactly what I'm saying. That's not going to cut the mustard. You're going to have to make a bit more of an effort. Talk to your fiscal advisors. Absolutely. Talk to Invest in Holland to see what kind of international trades there are between your country and the Netherlands, whether you can get some advantages, whether you can get some help settling here. Absolutely. Talk to to the local trade association, actually join the local trade association in order to get access to the network that's here, in order to get to know the other companies on the market, in order to get to know the market itself and get access to people. Yes, that's also a very good idea. It's not one or the other. If you know, at the risk of repeating myself, do not underestimate what it takes to get foot on the ground on in this market, especially if you are not arriving here with the intention of distinguishing yourself on something very simple, like, oh, we're going to offer a service at 50% of the price of the rest or so. But if you come here with the intention of running a profitable business and of just running a company, you're going to have to accept that it's going to take effort. It's going to take a sustained effort. Getting to know people, the Dutch clients are not that different from anybody else. Yes, they will be open to talk to you. They will be open to listen to your proposition. But at some point, you're going to have also to accept that you're going to have to be here for a certain time, because just like everywhere else, getting to know people, gaining the trust of people, starting to get the reference customers that will give you access to that network, that time and effort is not optional. You're going to have to put that in order to get that first base that you need to grow further.
Simon, I'm gonna set you up for a couple of shameless plugs. So I'm gonna go off script here for a little bit. One of the things that I've always been fascinated about with regards to the Dutch cloud community are the joint cooperations with different international trade associations. You guys have never been ashamed to, or hesitant is a better word, to help your members find their way in foreign markets. You've done trade missions to Scandinavia last year. I think you're doing something similar this year. Tell me a little bit about with which trade associations you're actively working. Whom do you have an active participating role with from both from a traveling business development point of view as well as from a legislative point of view? And please tie that in nicely with where we can find you in regards to what topics.
Let me maybe first take it one step back and explain to your viewers what is a trade association and why we have trade associations. Trade associations come from the acceptance that even though we are all competing with each other, we are all people who run their business and who have their own interest, that we are all facing certain issues, certain challenges that are the same for everybody and that are too big for individual companies to solve. And look at, for instance, education. We cannot all run an education program big enough to satisfy our needs. It's much more effective if we pool our resources together to run an education. The same goes for public affairs, for trying to talk with the government or talk with the European Commission about the implementation of new legislation. We cannot all do that individually, and that's why we have trade associations. And a trade association is a neutral party, is a not-for-profit organization that is financed by the members in order to work for the collective good. And so, of course, the different trade associations of the various countries will also work together because we see that there is a shared interest. There is an interest when we work with our colleagues from the Danish cloud community to encourage trade between Denmark and the Netherlands, encourage Dutch companies to go and explore the Danish markets and vice versa. The same applies for our colleagues from the ECHO in the German market, or our colleagues from France, or our colleagues from Great Britain. And we also pool our resources together to do things that otherwise are simply too complex and too expensive for individual organizations to handle together, such as for instance, working in Brussels with the European Commission, having an office in Brussels with enough people to know what is happening in every directorate general and at the parliament, and talking to the right people and knowing exactly when the moment is to give input on proposed new legislations is a huge effort. And it is for relatively small organizations like ours or the Danish or the French, it's simply too big. So we pool our resources together in organizations like CISPA, the European Cloud Internet Service Providers of Europe, that we all participate in order to get the voice of our members, the voice of our of the MSPs heard there where it matters, mostly in order to be able to get our voice heard before decisions are made that could impact the whole industry negatively.
Thank you, Simon, for that bit of wisdom. I think you guys are doing another trade mission to Sweden later this year, aren't you?
We went to Sweden last year as a joint plan with the Danish cloud community. Before that, we went to Spain. We are now actually talking about a mission to Germany, Austria, Switzerland. So we are this is part of our activities, and we are now finalizing the program for 2024.
All right. Any Octopus Cloud members that are interested in participating, please put something in the comments. We will make sure that it ends on Simon's inbox. Simon, I always have one final question for these interviews.
Yep.
Which events are we going to see you at in the upcoming year?
I think for everybody who doesn't know us yet, who's not known with the Dutch industry yet, the best place to get to know people, to get to know a lot of people, is to come to CloudFest in March in 2024. CloudFest, I imagine most MSPs know what it is in Germany, in Rust, and we have a big party that's for the Dutch only. But if you ask us very nicely, we are always happy to invite somebody extra to the party. So just let us know if you're coming to CloudFest, and if you would be interested in meeting Dutch companies, meeting the Dutch Trade Association, by sending a mail to simon@dutchcloudcommunity.nl, simon@dutchcloudcommunity.nl, and then we'll see if we can fix you an invitation for the Dutch night at CloudFest.
Thank you, Simon.